Arizona from the 20-yard line.
You're listening to the Casual Sports Show.
Palmer stepping away at first. Palmer extending the play. Crosses the field. Larry Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald is going to take it into Green Bay territory.
The show exclusively known as the voice of the Arizona Cardinals fan club, the Bird Gang.
Fitzgerald inside the 30, the 20. It's over. It's insane.
Now with your host, Earl Burnett, a.k.a. Casual E.
Bird Gang on 3, 1, 2, 3.
Greetings, Bird Gang. Welcome into another edition of the Casual Sports Show on another lovely Monday night. You know we do this for you every Monday night. Bring you our perspective of the Cardinals game and everything else going on in Arizona sports. I'm your host, Earl Burnett. That other square on that's next to me is Sean McConnell. Y'all know, of course. He is back in the building. And his usual back in the building on a loss. And that's just how it goes.
That's just how it goes.
But you know how to do it, Bird Gang. Go ahead and follow us and keep in touch with what we're doing. And be a part of the show with all four of our avenues on social media. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube page, and Twitter, of course. Drop us a line also on our website, www.ksrnaz.com. And make sure you download those mobile apps for Android and iPhone. What's going on, man?
Man, you know, I had to come back with the loss. That's just how it goes. I guess I've either been partying too hard for the wins. I don't know what. I mean, it's been crazy, you know, on the personal side. But I'm here now. I got my ginger ale and tequila. We're ready to break down this loss, you know, the sad way.
It's about to really go down now.
Yeah, of course.
All right, so with that being said, let's go ahead and see what's going on in the world of course, Arizona sports.
What's going on? What's going on? Yeah, what's going on? What's going on?
In the Casual House.
Man, this guy just can't keep a job over here, man.
Oh.
Your boy Ken Wisenhunt gets cut. Or fired, I should say, from the Chargers as their offensive coordinator. What's up with that? What do you think? Is that the right move with him? Somebody just had to get the axe over there at some point, right?
Someone had to get the axe, and especially because now there's reports coming out that Chargers are looking to maybe move on from Phil Rivers after this year. It's a season of change for the Chargers, and they're going to go through some growing pains, and this is the first apple to fall from a tree that is dying and needs replacement. So, yeah, I mean, it's the right move. It's sad for Ken because, you know, he did a lot of great things. He's a smart guy. I mean, he's stubborn to a point. But,
right.
yeah, I mean, you got respect for the guy for what he did in Arizona. But his time's up in L.A., and he's going to have to, you know, find another team.
Right. I agree with you with the Phillip Rivers. The window has closed. His window closed last year when they choked away another opportunity when they were probably one of the better teams in the AFC, and that was it. And then of course coming back into the season with that holdout with Melvin Gordon just took their whole chemistry away. So yeah, I think that's it. They're probably going to be like you said, moving on from him. But where do you think he can end up as a backup? He can't be a starter coming in.
I mean, I have to look at. Are we talking about for Rivers? I was thinking Wisenhunt where he would go.
Yeah.
Rivers, man.
Him and actually Eli.
You know,
I mean, those guys are going to be like what? Just come in and groom somebody for what? You know,
I can't see them going anywhere. I mean, maybe Rivers at most because you know he's got a lot of mouths to feed. I think Eli's going to hang it up. I see Rivers hanging it up too, just because like he wants to be a Charger probably his whole career and just kind of go with that, but or at least finish out as one. And I don't know. There's a lot of young quarterbacks coming out now that are going to be churning over. This is the change. We thought we had some change with, you know, RG3 and Andrew Luck, and that turned out to be nothing. Now you got this next wave of young guys. You got Jimmy G. You've got Kyler Murray. It's all over the place right now. Exactly. You don't have like that young bona fide that's coming up. Like Aaron Rodgers is like a tweener because like you've got the Brady, the Rivers, the the Mannings, and then there's Rodgers, and then there's a bunch of guys who are going to be taking all of their places.
Correct.
So, I don't know. I see Rivers and Eli both hanging it up.
So that's about all that's left.
Yeah.
That's all that's pretty much left to do. Wow. And Rivers not going to even get a chance to get into that new stadium. That's kind of messed up.
Yeah, but also fitting at the same time.
Some more ex-Cardinals or former Cardinals are in the news of Arizona sports. Bucks head coach Bruce Arians says that the referees aren't held accountable. So he's going to get fined for that. But you think BA cares about that?
No, he does not. He does not care about that. We love him for it.
So yeah, he's firing at everybody's got a lot to say about the refereeing this year, and of course we all know it's horrible. But to their credit, you got to give the referees a little bit of a pass for just a little bit, because we keep adding new stupid stuff that they have to keep adding to their arsenal to keep in mind what they have to go out there and officiate on.
Yeah,
you just add this new pass interference thing. You keep adding the helmet. All these things they keep adding. These referees are 60 and 70 years old running out there. It's like, okay, come on now. So, yeah, I do get it, though. I do get it. And the refereeing has been horrible. I mean, the games have stopped so many times.
Yeah.
It's hard to watch, but.
And it's not like the games are getting any slower.
Exactly. I ran into the guy. I won't say his name, but I'll just say Carl. I ran into Carl, who is the head of officiating of the Pac-12, and he was sitting right next to me during that game. And I went down to Cali to waste my trip driving down there. But,
shout out to ASU getting stomped.
Exactly. And when all the calls that were going down in the game, he's writing them down and questioning every call. Did you get that call? There was a play in that game where the tight end caught the ball. He went out of bounds first and came back in and caught the ball, and they called it a catch on the field. And the guy was like, "Did you guys miss that or what?" He stepped out of bounds first, and he was like, "Somebody's head's gonna roll." He was talking. I was like, "Wow!" So I'm like, and then later it came back. Yes, sir, he was pushed out first. He was forced out first. So he said, "Okay." I was like, so things like that with the officiating, they got, it's like.
Hey, I got to say, being head of officiating for Pac-12, that is not a fun job.
It's hell of a.
It's not a fun job.
Just telling him that. I said, I don't know. I said, you probably got your phone ringing off the hook.
Every game, every play, someone's calling him. That's got to be nuts.
He said, yeah, we get coaches calling left and right, and they send in play. Herm sent in 5 plays last week, and everybody started sending in. I said, that's pretty cool. I said, okay, yeah, so. That's a hard job. But we also got a couple other stories here that's going down. Of course, there's a Monday night game on right now.
Garbage.
I don't know how the heck these teams, well, I can see the Steelers because nobody knew that they would have the year they're having. But how does the Dolphins even get on a Monday night game? Everybody had to know that they were going to have this type of season.
No,
how did they even
Are you
get
telling me
game? And we didn't get one. We don't have a Monday night game this year.
Bringing in Josh Rosen and Ryan Fitzpatrick isn't enough to fill the seats, Earl. Is that what you're telling me?
I'm telling you that, man. It's like, that's crazy.
Come on.
They could have gave us one. I mean, I guess if you're the sorriest team in the league, you just definitely don't get one, I guess.
Yeah. Well, they're handing out Thursday ones when no one wants them, but not the Monday ones.
Exactly. But everybody's forced to play a Thursday anyway, so there's nobody that's missing a Thursday.
Oh, when I say handing out, I say like when you hand out your kids a plate full of broccoli. I'm giving this to you. I don't want it. No, I'm giving this to you. You're going to eat it.
Get that out of here. All right, and finally, Bill Belichick is leaving the door open to coach into his 70s, just like Brady's leaving the door open to coach to 45 or 50. Which one's going to break first, man?
There's been Massage Gate, there's been Deflate Gate, there's been Spy Gate, there's going to be Wheelchair Gate eventually. I mean,
exactly.
Which one's going to break first? I got to say it's Brady. Right? You have to say it's Brady. I mean, every quarterback's one hit away from being done. Just ask Kurt Warner.
Exactly.
So all it's going to take is for one guy to miss a block. Brady get hit. I mean, whoever hits Brady is going to be, kicked out of the league and fined for life. But but at least Brady could get hit. I mean, that could happen. Yeah, I'm going to say Brady's going to go first. Belichick, he'll be fine without Brady. He's done it every time Brady gets injured. So
I think there's something brewing, though, with this whole thing. Because remember, I mean, Josh Daniels was supposed to go get a job somewhere else. Remember?
Yeah.
He stayed, and this is to be the second year of him staying, right? Or is it the third already?
It might be the third.
Fine. I think it's the third already that he came back. And he looks like he was waiting in the reins for Belichick to call it quits.
Mm.
And the same thing now, you start seeing all these things about Brady selling his house and his trainer selling his house. So something's brewing somewhere. And it's like, what? This thing's about to come to a close at some point. But both those guys, I mean, if it's a player, if it's Brady, I think he would rather go somewhere else and try to see if he can win without Belichick.
Where can Brady go? Like, that's so weird to think, right? I mean,
right. And when you think quarterbacks like that or the veterans like that, they've won Super Bowls like that, then you know who's going to come slamming at the door, banging the door down, salivating at it from the mouth. John Elway.
Oh,
Knock. You know, so...
You know, you could
hope that don't happen.
As a Cardinal fan, you could picture Larry in another jersey and it not be the craziest thing because you also want him to succeed. Seeing Brady in another jersey is weird because of all the success he's had. It's like, why are you doing this? Like, it's like Kobe leaving. Why are you doing this?
Yeah, we were having this conversation down there when I was in Cali with a few guys, and we were talking about this Brady and Belichick thing, and I'm saying, I don't think he's going to be the same superstar from one system to the next because he was a system quarterback to begin with.
Right, and that's what I'm thinking.
And remember, he's been with the same coach since he's had his career, since he's been playing. I mean, Peyton has changed teams. You saw him, transition to another team, and his talent is good enough to transition to another team.
But he also had carte blanche. He had the full reign of the offense.
Correct. That's what I'm saying. He was running things.
Yeah,
Peyton was the man. He was the system. So pretty much. So that's understandable. Then I remember back in the 80s and 90s, Montana transitioning from the 49ers to the Kansas City Chiefs, totally the same type of system, I think it was, right? Kansas City was running the same type of West Coast.
Yeah.
Or they were running something different. I'm not sure, but Montana flourished in another team.
Right.
Took them to a playoff game first year. I just can't see Brady going from Belichick's system to something totally different.
Right.
Now, I mean, that's just my opinion. I mean, there will be no Tom Brady without no Belichick, period. But that's another story for another day. I'm going to jump right quickly into the NBA. And, of course, our Suns are doing good. Nobody expected. We'll get into that later. But we want to talk quickly about what's going on with the Golden State Warriors. Man, Draymond Green came right out and said, got bleeped on a tape. We bleeping suck. He said, right now, we bleeping suck.
Man, there's no fire here. I wouldn't even say there's smoke here. This is just steam. It's a long season. It's early. They're still the kings of this division. I'm not worried.
Okay. You think they're going to still be competitive this year?
They're going to bounce back and be fine. Yeah, they don't have Clay right now. They might not have him all year. They're figuring it out. Are they going to be the number one seed? Probably not.
Of course not.
Are they going to make the playoffs? Yeah. Are they going to go deep? Yeah. Will they make the finals? Probably. I still think they probably could.
They still have 3 All-Stars on the team, but they're in the process of working one into the system too.
Right.
So that's going to take some time. All right. Okay, what we're going to do here is take our first break, and of course, we get back. It's going to be Cardinal time, so you know what happened down there in New Orleans. And the Bird Gang went down there and represented, I heard.
Yeah, Bird Gang Travel Club had a big showing.
They made some news down there. Woo! They were on some buses or whatever, and 200 people filled up the bus. Like, wow, go ahead, Bird Gang, let's represent.
Yeah.
But my question is, who on earth picked that one to go to?
Hey, I mean, I haven't been to New Orleans. I'd love to go.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's New Orleans, and that's probably the reason. But you at least want to pick a game that you got some chance to come out with a win. I mean, come on.
3/4 of the game, we had a chance, and we're gonna get into that for sure.
Right, of course. You're listening to the Casual Sports Show. Earl Burnett, Sean McConnell, KSRNAZ.com. Go ahead and hit us up at the website at www.ksrnaz.com and follow us on all social media platforms. Stick around, Bird Gang. We'll be right back. Hey, Arizona, this is Earl Burnett, the Casual Sports Show. I want to invite you to the hottest sports bar in the valley. Experience the lodge mentality of Twin Peaks. Twin Peaks is so much more than your typical sports bar. This lounge welcomes every guest with the World Series walk-offs and barrel-aged whiskey. The second you walk inside, you're surrounded by a lodge full of friendly and attentive Twin Peak girls serving it up from scratch. Only here can you truly embrace the lodge mentality. Twin Peaks. Nothing sets us apart more than our signature 29 draft beers, served in perfectly frosted 22-ounce man-sized mugs. Our rotating selection of fan favorites and in-house brews are the guests' trusted companion in victory or defeat. Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.
Whether a growing family or an upcoming retirement, Debbie Bishop of Homeowners Financial Group USA, LLC is there to help. As a generational lender, Debbie assists everyone from first-time homebuyers to seniors looking into reverse mortgages. With products like FHA, VA, conventional, and jumbo financing, Debbie will work with you to find the loan to best fit your needs. Call 480-305-8505 for a consultation or apply online at homeownersfg.com/Debbie Bishop. NMLS number 234947, BK 0906222, and MLS number 93718, Equal Housing Lender.
Hi, this is Ed Smith, host of the Easy Sports Talk Show. In addition to hosting the show every Saturday, did you know I'm also an inspirational and motivational speaker? Utilizing life experience in my 15-year professional sports career, I offer programs to a wide variety of audiences. Tips from the locker room to the boardroom and beyond. Whether you're a corporate executive, sports organization, or faith-based organization, Ed Smith Speaks can customize a team-building, motivational, and inspirational program to fill your needs. I'd love to come inspire and motivate your group to create lifelong shining moments. To learn more about booking me for your event, visit edsmithspeaks.com or contact me directly at info@edsmithspeaks.com.
You are listening to the best internet radio station on the web, KSRN, Arizona.
Welcome back into the Casual House. Bird Gang. Earl Burnett, Sean McConnell right here on KSRN, the hottest radio station, internet radio station on the web. All right. Okay, man. So a move went down today. Yeah, we had a move go down today for our Cardinals, and we're going to get into that. We know the running back room got a little thin. Well, a whole lot thin, I should
Paper
say.
thin.
Paper thin, exactly.
About as paper thin as that Zenner block.
Ooh.
It was not good. Not a
Wow.
good look.
I mean, you can't blame that man. He coming off a 1 week of coming to the
Earl.
team, and he got a complex offense, and you got to pick it up. And
Earl.
what that you gotta
Kyler
give him
says,
some type of
block
leeway
this
pass.
guy, and you can't do it. He didn't say go run a ziggity-zag route. No, block this guy, and he couldn't do it.
Right. He also couldn't go the right way when Kyler was trying to hand him the ball.
Oh.
So it's going to take him some time to pick up the system if he's here long enough. I don't think he'll be here long enough, actually.
So let me introduce this man. We got a new player out of Miami.
All right.
Metro Cause I got a really big team and they need some really big rings. They need some.
All right, I gotta cut it short so we don't get no copyright. Arizona has reached no. Arizona has reached an agreement in principle to trade conditional 2020 draft pick around a 5th or a 6th to Miami for Kenyon Drake, not the Drake we were thinking of, but Kenyon Drake out of Miami.
Right.
What do you think about this?
Oh man, I saw this earlier today, and I was like, man, that's for what you need now. I get it because we were banged up in a running back room. What I don't understand is, of course, what we gave up to get him, I don't think was a lot, but him being a decent running back, which he is a decent running back, you got him for 8 games. How do you know that he's going to re-up and come back? I mean, you got him for 8 games, and then half of those 8 games, maybe even more, are going to be him trying to pick up the system.
And not even just re-up, but re-up for kind of cheap.
Yeah.
How much money do you want to put in the running back room? Chase needs money. DJ got a lot of money.
Now, see, this is where I get into the meat of this thing, because when I saw this go down, I'm thinking in my head, I'm going, oh, David, you in trouble, man. I'm saying you better get that hoppity skip stuff together, because if you continue, I know he is a dynamic receiver, and that's part of this offense. I get that, but Drake can handle those duties, but from a running standpoint, Drake is a monster. I mean, he's a beast. He's hitting holes. He runs hard.
So here's what I want to get into with this, because I can't get excited about it based on where Miami is right now as a team. I don't know what to judge Drake on this year. I mean, he hasn't had a rushing game over 50 yards this year.
That's a good point.
And so, do you look at it last year, the year before? Miami's been so bad.
Right. Yeah, you're right. That's a good point, because it's like, okay, what is he really? Yeah. So what do we really have? Exactly.
We have a body. I mean, that's something.
Right.
We got a body for nothing, so I get it.
Right. Now let's just say, hypothetically speaking, this kid comes in and starts blowing holes up and hitting holes and getting those big gash runs and, looking really good. Now you start to say that running back room is going to get a little bit shaky, and people going to start shaking and being a little nervous. I don't think Chase is going anywhere. I mean, because he's performed, but there has been questions about David Johnson's game all season long.
Yeah,
running the ball. I'm not saying anything about him catching the ball. There's also been some issues about maybe picking up blocks, things like that. This dude, if he learns, they say he learns systems pretty fast. If he picks up this system, he comes in there and he's picking up blitzes and he's getting gash runs, and man, it's going to be hard to.
I would love to see a 2-headed committee of Edmonds and Drake, but here's the problem that we have with this. You're going to have to pay a team to take David Johnson.
And there will be some sucker out there to do it.
No, we're going to have to pay part of his contract. No team is going to take that full contract.
Yeah. I mean, what I mean by that is if this guy shows out these 8 games, I think it's worth it.
I agree with you. And we have money to spend next year, but
right.
That's also going to ultimately mean Steve Keim's job.
Yeah.
A big whiff. Not on the player. The player was fine. He did good considering where you drafted him, but the contract, that was a problem.
Right.
And you just gave him away. You gave someone money to take him.
You're probably right. That's probably what's going to lead the whole thing anyways, that we've already put money in that running back room, and that's where we probably end up. Knowing this team, that's how they usually do things. But now the question is still, okay, so why go get this guy that's supposed to be he's not tier 1 or 2, he might be tier 3 running back. Why would you go out and give up a 5th round pick for 8 games or less? Probably less than 8 games.
It could be a sign that Steve Keim's done building in the draft extremely hard, and that he's going to use the first couple rounds to build now, and he's going to deal out the late rounds and just get players in. It could mean that. It could just mean that they were so desperate for somebody that they had to get anybody, and Miami obviously doesn't want to win, so they're giving away everybody.
Exactly.
It's probably a little bit of both.
Right.
It was a desperation move. The Cardinals had to do it. They had to do something. You have your first 3 running backs that you open camp with that are gone. They're not able to play. You've got one that's already on IR, and then you got 2 that they're on the DMP list right now today.
So do you think that move supersedes needing something on the defensive side of the ball?
I don't know. That's got to be tough too, because there's holes that you need on defense, right? And then there's teams that aren't going to be willing to give up those types of players because they need them. It's hard to find that balance, like whereas we didn't have any bodies to fill this position come Thursday.
Right.
Oh, we had Zenner, but we already saw how that went. So we didn't have enough bodies.
So we have the trade deadline is tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
So now we just saw a trade go down for Drake. Do you think they're done? Because I can tell you, I can look at stuff right now and you can still do some things.
I think they're done. I don't want them to be done by any means.
And that's the consensus for every fan walking this earth in Arizona.
Yeah.
We know we want them not to be done, but we know they're done.
Yeah, of course. But I don't think they're going to trade for offensive line at this point. What they have on the offensive line is health and continuity. It's not perfect, but they're together and they're growing. And with that type of room, you can't mess with that chemistry.
Weakness right now. That's not the biggest weakness right now.
No, the biggest weakness is a fast linebacker who can go sideline to sideline. But who's giving those guys up? Nobody. Not even Miami will give those guys up.
Nobody. Yeah, they have to have somewhere to start down there.
So Darryl Washington, if you're still in shape, man, if you're still doing good, if you're laying off the weed, man, get back in the NFL. Get on the field.
What about the interior though? Because we're still having issues with the running back gashing us.
And that's hard too, because you have people there that are supposed to be good at this.
So that's the key point. Supposed to be good. So what's stopping them from doing?
You have captains on your teams that are supposed to be good at this.
Yeah, it just seems that you moved them to another team and they start doing what they're supposed to do. They just can't do it here.
Does that mean? I mean, I'm looking at Corey Peters when I'm saying this. Does that mean Corey Peters isn't here next year?
Of course, he's not being productive. He's not as productive as he has been in the past. I haven't seen him do what I haven't seen him be a run stopper completely in a game.
And we haven't had a guy that you can depend on every game since Dan Williams.
Oh man, and Big Dan is sitting out there somewhere right now. I mean, even he would probably be helpful right now.
I love that dude.
I love
watching him play, man. It was like running into a wall.
Kind of miss him too, but so the game went down this Sunday up in New Orleans, and I was up in California coming from that other debacle in the college ranks. And so I didn't have the luxury of having the Arizona channels with the Cardinal game. So I'm kind of running around, turning my phone on with Doug and Wolf and them going on, listening to the Arizona broadcast. But I'm doing other stuff. People, I'm visiting people, so people haven't seen me in a long time, so I have no time to look at the game. And I'm like, what's going on? I'm looking back and trying to find out what's going on. And you and I had a brief text after this game about Cliff Kingsbury going for that 4th and 1 or 2?
4th and 1 in the third quarter.
But hold up, when we had that conversation, remember, I was blinded of what was going on.
Yeah, no, I didn't know, so I just came in mad at you.
I'm thinking, hell yeah, you go for it, be aggressive, blah blah blah. Then later, I started hearing all the details. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? In his own territory, and at that point of the game,
yeah.
That I didn't know it was at that 10-6 point of the game. I did not know that. I was like, wow.
And in your own territory.
I guess Sean got me on this one because I can't agree with that. That's crazy.
No, it's hard. And honestly, here's what you missed, Earl.
Okay.
And that was a disgraceful performance, in my opinion. We threw that game. We gave it away by doing that. We gave them the friggin' game. In my opinion, that sucked.
That was your point when you texted me. You said Barry gave him that game. But and Earl, now I understand what you were talking about when I actually got the chance to look at it and get some detail about it. I see what you were saying.
But Earl, don't you
play to win the game?
I would agree you do play, especially that team in that dome. You play hard. You do whatever it takes to win the game, but you don't shoot yourself in the foot trying to do it.
No, and here's the problem. Go for it on 4th and 1 in their territory all you want. That's fine. We were 5 for 5 going into this game. I get it.
Right.
The second I saw them line up, I go, they're going to run this ball.
Oh,
and they haven't been running all game long.
Right. Let me ask
New Orleans went into this game knowing we go for it on 4th down. We just got Chase Edmonds, who was extremely hot.
Right.
That's what they know. And what did we do? We went for it on 4th down, and we ran the ball. They game planned for that.
Yeah.
And they stopped it. Surprise.
Or that was horrible. And especially when you think back of the 5 4th downs we did get and the brilliant plays that were called on those 4th downs.
Yes, to just do a draw play?
I mean, I don't remember which game it was when we got the quick out to the tight end Clay, wide open for the yard 4th down. Say, where's that innovation? Where did that go?
Not even an RPO, nothing.
Nothing. Just let me just hand off, give it a chase, just pile a line, and run behind somebody, and boom.
No, you put in your backup center, you have him get on his hands and knees, and you have Kyler just jump off of him. It would have been better.
Man, okay. See, in my head, like I said, I was thinking. You're on the road.
What I was thinking was,
you're in that building. You cannot come in that building not being aggressive.
Right.
But you got to know when to be aggressive.
And that was an aggressive play call. It wasn't.
It was not.
Just a pansy little run up the middle.
Let me ask you this question. Remember on the Neutral Zone Thursday night, I asked this question, or I kind of gave this statement. Do you think that Cliff Kingsbury got caught up with trying to outwit Sean Payton? Because remember, the play in the first half when they did the flea flicker thing was nice. It was beautiful. And now he's getting this rhythm thinking, it's me against you, but I'm going to try to, do the chest thing with you. And he's trying to match wits, but yet you're overmatched and you overdo it because you're not thinking straight.
I don't get that. Because that first play was great. And I'm like, he may get a little cute here. Going for it on 4th, I think he was just going with, this is our identity. This is what we can do. And he had a little bit of confidence. And yeah, it's a swing play in the game. I mean, all the momentum is based on this play. I don't think he was trying to, if it was a cutesy call, it would have been something a little bit weirder, putting like Kyler out at the wide receiver position or something.
Right.
Like they were doing with Hill over and over again.
Right.
I think it was more of a matter of not executing the play call. Justin Pugh even admitted like he blew a block and he was taking ownership for that. And that's great and all. It makes everyone feel good. No, it doesn't. But
no, it doesn't. No.
What happened after that game was that you absolutely just got waxed.
Exactly.
We were losing every category before that play happened. But that didn't stop us from being scrappy and getting in the game.
Correct.
And so, Peterson gets that interception. That doesn't mean you just risk it. You play field position. You play it. It's 10-6.
Like you just said they were stopping us and they were going up and down the field. So who's to say if you do pick it up there, the 4th down, that you would be punting three plays later? Yeah. So it wouldn't matter. So to go for it right there just really is not in the NFL protocol.
Yeah.
That's just way off.
Giving them the ball there essentially. It just gave him 2 more touchdowns, basically.
Because no matter what's going on, and you're not trusting that we can stop them, you never know what fluke play could happen, like the one that got called back.
Mm-hmm.
That could actually take place in a game. Somebody drop a ball, tip off a helmet, anything can happen. So you punt that ball deep and take your chances.
Yeah.
I get his idea that we have to be aggressive because we're in this dome. All this stuff is stacked against us. There's no way we can come in here and be lackadaisical or afraid to attack. Right. But I'm gonna tell you, in a way, they are afraid to attack because I'm looking at Kyler Murray's numbers, and Cliff doesn't use him in those crunch plays. You need to go ahead and let this kid rip the ball.
Yeah,
go ahead and let him have his lumps. You notice he's kind of like protecting him too much. And you go, he's taking care of the ball and all these things. Yeah, he's taking care of the ball because he's barely throwing the ball downfield.
Well, you know what I noticed too? And I didn't look at every single play, and I didn't recap the film like everyone else does. But it seemed like when we were doing quick slants, those quick slants were open.
Okay.
And the Cardinals actually had a benefit here to change up your game plan. abandon chase. I mean, you tried it. It didn't work. Abandon it right away.
Correct.
Because they're ready for it. Change up your game plan. Go quick slants. They were doing it. It was open. On a 4th and 1, a quick slant, I'm not going to be mad at you for trying a quick slant on a 4th and 1.
Right. And when you say to try to slant, that puts the game in the hands of your star quarterback.
Right.
And I think Cliff needs to do that more and stop trying to protect him too much, because that 4th and 1, put the ball in his hands. Let him make the play. Let him grow from missing that play of him being the one in control of that. But let him do it. Let him fail if he fails. But you got to start letting this kid start to let loose a little bit more. I mean, I get we're trying not to be turning the ball over and all these things, but his talent is too dang good for you to kind of keep it bound up. You got to let him go. Let him go. If he throws picks, let him throw picks.
Now, there were some other concerns.
They're protecting him too much.
Yeah. There were some other concerns, too, in this game about Vance Joseph's defensive game plan, having Peterson play more zone instead of man on Thomas.
My goodness.
I don't think that Thomas was the game changer in this game. I mean, 112 yards, a touchdown. It's a big game. It's still a big game. But, I mean, you're looking at Murray, 102 yards, a touchdown. There was touchdowns all over this game.
I think Thomas, I didn't see the game, but like I'm saying, just looking at the numbers, I think Thomas was a big factor in this game. You know why? He had 11 targets and he caught 11 balls.
No, I see that.
Not one of those targets.
But when you're in zone, how are you going to contest every ball?
That's true. That's true. And see that now. Okay, remember my brilliant pick on Thursday was no Breeze, and he ended up playing, so that threw my whole thing out. No Kamara, okay, no Kamara, so the score wasn't 50-9, so no Kamara.
That's true.
And I said no Michael Thomas because P2 was going to take him out of the game, thinking that our defensive coordinator would have the sense enough to put Patrick on that dude the whole game, man on man.
Yeah, that's okay. I thought Jared Cook was playing. He didn't even play.
And he didn't even, wow. Oh, my goodness. So, what's up with the defensive coordinator? Is it about to almost get into that time?
We'll find out on Thursday. Or we'll find out on Thursday. Thursday night games seem to be the games where, when you go into work Friday pissed off, you're firing somebody.
This game Thursday night, man, that's going to be brutal. I mean, we'll get into that soon. But one more thing, we're on the Cardinals here. Let's talk about Murray's performance, because I'm hearing a lot of, he didn't play good or whatever. He, had I wouldn't say a bad game, but it's like, okay, he's only doing what that coach is telling him to do.
Right.
And I think he's executing it to the T. I mean, he's still making a few rookie mistakes when it comes to time management, things like that, throwing the ball away. He's still doing those little things, but that's to be expected. But his performance yesterday, I didn't get to see the whole performance, but I'm looking at him rip the ball, he's still ripping, he's still throwing the ball those quick outs, like you said, those quick slants. It's on target. They're on target.
Yeah. So
I didn't see him have a bad game. I just think that he was.
It was a little rough.
Good defense.
It was a little rough. 19 for 33. I mean, that defense is getting after it. He had 3 sacks for 19 yards, a QBR of 44.4. Meanwhile, Breeze was going 34 for 43, 373 yards, 3 TDs, an interception, no sacks. That was a big one there. And it wasn't that Chandler wasn't getting there. He was getting close.
Right.
But Breeze knew.
Breeze just knows how to move those feet in the pocket and make people miss. He's not the most elusive running out of the pocket, but he can feel pressure and move around, keeping his eyes downfield, and then he kills you. I mean, somebody had him, and he just stepped out of a tackle and threw the ball. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
So what was the key? Other than that 4th down play, what was another key thing in this game that you would say, I mean, did we quit? What happened?
So
I didn't get to see all of the whole, how it unfolded.
I would say there's 2 things. One was if it would have just went this way, blank. If Larry would have just got 2 feet in,
man,
and the Breeze almost strip sack would have been a thing.
Correct.
That's a 14-point play right there.
14 points.
So I mean, you still lose 23-31, but that's a closer game, a lot more respectable. You can hang your head on that and being like, this is okay.
Okay.
Those didn't happen. The other thing is, after that 4th and 1,
right?
You put your defense in such a spot, they're looking at you now like, you just gave them all the momentum. When you get that momentum as an offense, your chest gets bigger. You sit up taller.
Right.
You know, that confidence is just, you can't buy that.
Right.
And they ended up just with so much confidence. They're playing like 3 quarterbacks at one time and just messing with you now and playing trick plays.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Sean Payton was playing with him. He was toying with him from the start of the game.
All it took was 1 quarter.
You know, when you think about that now that I think about that, remember I was thinking that Breeze was not going to play this game just because the bye week next week, rest up. Now that I think about that little riff that everybody's been saying about that, it wasn't an actual riff, but just people are kind of leaning to where they think that Peyton took a jab at Kingsbury in the media back when he got the job.
Oh, it makes sense.
It makes sense, right? So now it's like, oh, I gotta have my starter right because we finna teach this dude some stuff. I think that's probably why he played. Peyton wanted his full arsenal when he didn't have Kamara, but he wanted his quarterback to go ahead and rip this thing defense up and rip this whole so-called air raid thing apart.
Yeah.
I mean, so he wanted to show him up, but he didn't. I heard at the end he didn't run. He had a chance to run up the score a little bit more, but kind of took the knee and then didn't do it. But
yeah,
that was pretty cool.
It's basically a tale of 1 quarter. I mean,
Right.
minus the 4th and 1 call in the third. It's a game of 1 quarter.
We were in the game till the third quarter. It was what, 17-6 or something like that?
Starting in the 4th quarter, it was 17-9. Still essentially a 1-possession game with the 2-point conversion.
True. Yeah,
but you give up 2 straight touchdowns and you don't give anything back in the 4th, the game's over.
Right.
And that's what we had.
I'm glad you said, the defensive scheme was all zone, because I was starting to think in my head, 11 targets, 11 catches.
11 catches.
Patrick not on that dude? I was starting to think Patrick getting ate up in this game. Wow. And then now that you said that, I kind of understand. Like, okay, so Vance Joseph is just pretty much doing the Mike McCoy.
And your 3rd-string quarterback, 3rd-string tight end, 3rd-string running back, Taysom Hill, 3 receptions, 63 yards, an average of 21 yards, a touchdown on 3 targets.
Wow.
I mean, come on.
Unbelievable. So let's talk a little bit real quick, the receiver room. I mean, I know Kirk came back, got his 8 catches, did a pretty good job coming back off the injury, but do you think we need to add a little bit more another veteran receiver to this court? I mean, seeing that Larry, I'm not going to say Larry's declining, but Larry usually would have made that catch and got that foot down. I didn't see the play, but I'm thinking
it was a little ahead of him. It was tough.
Probably got pushed to the point where he could not get, the body's being torqued to the point where you can't put a foot down.
The way that he was trying to take a step, he took a step out really far, and it was just kind of an awkward step.
Okay.
I don't blame that on age or anything. It was a little bit of far of a ball. It wasn't perfect, and it's just kind of one of those fluke plays that Larry doesn't come up with. You know what? I would not add veteran presence to this room because, unlike most fans, I know what this team is. It's a young team. They're rebuilding.
Right.
We're not going to mess this up with veteran leadership and pushing to win right now this season. Let these guys learn. Let them take their lumps. Let them have a 4-win season, whatever it's going to take, and come back from it next year.
Right. That's a good point. Cardinal talk, third game. I know everybody's chiming in, and nobody really expected to win this game, but we wanted to see a competitive game. And we saw it for 2.5, maybe 3 quarters, maybe. But we got to get back at it. We got to figure this thing out, and we got to get more aggressive, and we got to figure out what kind of offense we actually run. I don't think we got an identity yet, but we got to figure it out. But are you listening to the Casual Sports Show? We're going to get back and talk about those Phoenix Hot Suns.
Woo!
Right here in the Valley. Stick around. We'll be right back.
MPX, a neighborhood joint located at 4717 East Bell Road, is not just another restaurant. It's a community partner and gathering point. At MPX, everything is made from scratch. The menu is a creative spin on traditional American classics. Every item on the menu has a story behind it. From Ashley's Biscuit Chili, Ray's Short Ribs, to the PB&J French Toast, there's a new favorite waiting for you. In addition to being the ideal neighborhood joint, MPX is committed to uplifting the community, partnering with local schools, hosting benefits, and give back. If you're looking to schedule an event, MPX, a neighborhood joint, is the perfect location to come together. And while you're there, be sure to check out the 195-inch TV. For more information, call MPX at 602-788-7134. Visit www.mpx.life. Follow us on Twitter at MPXLife. Like us on Facebook or stop in. Again, we're located at 4717 East Bell Road in Phoenix. MPX, the official neighborhood joint of the Easy Sports Talk Show. Be sure to tell a friendly and courteous staff Ed and Jim sent you.
When was the last time you had your awnings cleaned? What about the oil stains on your driveway? Majestic Services has you covered. They're your pressure washing and window cleaning experts. With over 11 years of experience, they'll provide you with a free, no obligation quote for your awnings, driveways, stucco, concrete, asphalt, pool deck, stone, and more. Give Matt a call at 602-881-8228. Commercial or residential, let Majestic Services do your dirty work. 602-881-8228.
Hey, Bird Gang, this is your boy, former Cardinal Jeremy Bridges. Tune into the #1 podcast on the web, my show, JB&B and the Guru Review, right here on KSRN Arizona.
Don't miss the voice of the Bird Gang, the casual sports show with Earl Burnett and Sean McConnell. 8 p.m. live, Monday nights on your favorite internet station, KSRN.
KSRN.
The exclusive voice for all fan clubs and the community.
This is Cliff Kingsbury, and you're listening to the second best sounding voice in the Valley, Casual E, on the Casual Sports Show here on KSRN, Arizona.
Welcome back into the Casual House. Earl Burnett, Sean McConnell. Hey, Sean, real quick.
Yeah.
Back on the Cardinals, something really quick. Tell me if I'm missing something, or tell me if you agree with this, or do you see what I'm seeing? I haven't heard Buda Baker's name called at all on this defense. Is that just this? Is that? I mean, what's going on with him? Is he? Because he doesn't look like the same player to me. He doesn't look like that playmaker that he was with BA.
Well, here's the difference. You've got James Betcher, who's using Tyrann Mathieu and Buda Baker like Madden cheat codes, and you have Vance Joseph, who's been a coordinator for 1 year, doesn't really know what to do with him, I don't think. And Buda had a blown coverage play, and that's on Buda, but he's being used differently this year, and it's showing a little bit. This is what happens when you have coach turnover. You inherit players that you don't necessarily have that are going to fit your system that you like using. Right. It seems like Vance does pretty well with guys that are size. I mean, you go back to his time at Denver, it's got size. All over that field, there's size. There's Von Miller. There was Aqib Talib at the time. There was just size and length and speed. And we don't have size. We have speed, but when you're getting used certain ways, you can't hit just as hard on the right plays and the right matchups. So he's getting used differently. I'm not going to hold it too far against him and say Buda's got to go or anything. Vance has to learn how to use Buda.
Oh, yeah, I would never say Buda's got to go. I just thought exactly what you're saying. Is Vance just not knowing how, like you just said, he's not playing in his original position or his thriving position. Where he thrives is, being able to just be a hawk all over the field.
Right.
But I don't know, man. You would think that a coach that knows a guy that has that kind of skill would look at some tape and figure him out where to really put him at. But Vance Joseph is starting to creep up on that, that Mike McCoy type stuff that's starting to tick the fan.
Yeah, but that was like 3 weeks earlier for Mike McCoy.
Let's do it real quick. Get the casualties report.
Oh, I'm hurt. Oh, my neck, my back, my neck and my back. Oh,
Of course, we already know Chase goes down with the hamstring injury and probably be out for a couple of weeks. Practice went down. What you got, man?
It's a long list. Are you ready for this? We might be here all day.
Go ahead.
All right, so we'll go with the limiteds first. There's only one. Charles Clay, back. He's limited. He should be good to go on Thursday. It's just a quick turnaround. A lot of these guys are going to rest. Trent Sherfield, knee. Hassan Reddick, knee. Justin Murray, knee. Cassius Marsh, concussion. David Johnson, ankle. Dennis Gardeck, ankle. Like you said, Chase with the hamstring. Darrell Daniels, tight end, ankle. Zach Allen, neck. Those are all DNPs. The San Fran, they've got a little bit of injury too, but nobody's listed out yet. Kyle Juszczyk, we practiced this. I can't say it. Juszczyk, knee, did not practice. McGlinchey, knee, did not practice.
Okay.
Witherspoon, their cornerback, foot, did not practice. Matt Breida, ankle, limited. So they got some injuries as well, but not as many as we do.
Right. Wow, that's a mass unit going down. All right, let's flip the script. Give me the update on this Suns game.
I was trying to find some paper to rustle, so I was flipping the script. We got the Jazz at the Suns. 61 Jazz, 59 Suns with 5.5 left in the third. It's a close game, another close game that the Suns
are in every game, man.
Every game they're staying in.
Every time I checked the score last year, we was kind of going crazy. How bad is it? How bad is it?
Right now you got
so far that I've done that. I'm like, are you kidding me? We're right there.
We're right there. You got Booker with 14, Oubre with 13. Rubio is back after a little injury, 6 points, 9 rebounds, and 7 assists.
Right. Wow. This dude, Monty Williams is what's happening with this team, right? You got to give him that credit, right?
So my wife asked me, she's like, what is the difference now? I mean, obviously this is still early, but what is the difference with these Suns? They look different. It sounds different. You're excited. Like she's seeing me excited. Monty Williams is what Robert Sarver's been looking for with the last 5 coaches combined.
Wow.
Think about it. He's vocal like Earl. He's a player's coach like Earl. He's got the smarts like Hornacek did.
Yeah.
All those traits, that the best traits of the last 4 coaches merged into one. This is what I see in Monty.
Right.
He's smart. The players love him. He's got him amped up. I'm for it. I'm on the Monty train, man.
Did you see how well he downplayed that DeAndre Ayton? I mean, the Ayton thing, he didn't really make that big of a deal of it. Just kind of calmly just said, we're going to do this. We're going to do that. And boom, boom, boom. And then he gets that team to come out and play without that dude like that. That is amazing.
With like that. And you've got Aaron Baines, who's 3 for 3, 9 points, 3 rebounds. 11 points now.
He's balling. I love how Devin Booker has transitioned to a player that understands. He's on that verge of understanding how to win now because Monty is giving him the tools to understand how to win. And in game 1, there was a time when he was on the bench and one of the guys were in there that he was going to go sub. I forgot who it was, but he had it going at the time. And he looked down the bench and told him he was ready to go. And Devin was like, "No, he got it going. Let him go."
Yeah.
When have you ever seen that? So he's starting to pick it up and understand, okay, the only way I'm going to become this all-star and this star player in this league is to get these other guys to get us start playing together and make them better, that they can start winning games. And that's what looked like was happening right now.
And it's not going to be perfect. I mean, Booker still has a problem turning the ball over, especially when he's the primary handler, but he's going to find that balance with Rubio taking over the majority of the ball handling.
Right.
So it's good to see, and I'm okay with Booker's points going down as long as his player ratings going up and his the baseball equivalent of wins above replacement is going up because Booker's on the floor making better decisions and not having to take so much of that load. Yeah, It kind of hurts now with that Ayton situation, but I mean, we're doing okay right now, and I can't worry too much about that.
Yeah, good. I mean, shout out to James Jones. I mean,
oh yeah,
this is evidently we know that Booker's doing what he's doing because he's got better teammates now, of course. So, I mean, when he can have a game like he had on Friday night, he had a bad game Friday night. I mean, he couldn't drop pee in the ocean. And he was like, man, I can't. Remember, he was right under the rim. I mean, everything was missing until he hit that 3 in the end. It kind of kept him in that game. But it's like, it's good to see that somebody can pick up that slack when he has a bad game.
Yeah, everyone's going to have an off night, and what James Jones has done with this bench is there is depth.
Man, awesome.
You're looking at Frank Kaminsky off the bench with 8 points, Carter, who, if I can release this, we're going to be having Carter on the show next week. 6 points off the bench, backup point guard. You got Johnson, Bridges, the other Johnson, Akobo. I mean, you've got depth here, and I like what I see in these guys. They're scrappy, they're loud.
Right.
This is becoming a thing where a lot of people are going to get behind these guys, and it's going to turn into something special if they keep going this way.
Okay, now everybody's going to start changing those numbers. Remember, there was
the 13,
games that they're going to win, 29 to 30. And when you see them come out and beat teams that they shouldn't beat, and they beat them in a way, they beat them in a way as though they're right on the same level as that team. I mean, that's what it looked like to me. It's like, this doesn't look like the Suns just overachieving. This looks like the Suns are a little bit like right there on the same level almost, but missing a few components, but still right able to compete with these other teams.
Right, because it's the body language. It's not like they're jumping up and down like they just won something that they weren't supposed to. It's more like, yeah, we're here. Look around. We're here. Pay attention.
Yeah, I like
if they can keep that trend up, they might be ruining a lot of people's predictions.
Right. Oh, heck yeah. And so you think about it, 82 games. If they play as hard as they can play, as they play these 3 games, and the ratio is you winning two out of every 3 games to a point, like that type of ratio, whatever that may be, 75% is that. I think that is 75%, or maybe that's 65%, whatever the numbers are.
It's too late for math right now, Earl. Don't be asking me that after I've had some.
Too late, yeah, exactly. But whatever that may be, if they can win with this ratio where they're always well over 500, man, you could probably push in that 7th seed, 6th seed in the playoffs.
You could be pushing for it, and
too early, of course.
Way too early.
Let's see this consistently keep going. But tonight, you as a Suns fan, and you and I as a Suns fan, and all the Suns Nation was looking for a letdown at some point. And you got to admit, you're looking for a letdown.
And then at the end of the first game, you end up kind of getting one with the Ayton suspension, and it's like,
you're looking for a letdown. Tonight, there's no way they can play like they were playing. Here they are, riding with the Jazz, just a team that they really can't beat.
And right with the Nuggets as well. I mean, lost by 1 in overtime.
And won that game if it hadn't been for a bunch of fluke calls and fouling people out.
Right.
But and then Booker had that bad game. If he had just a Booker type game, they win that game.
There's one trend that I'm seeing so far that I don't like, that I need to see better. And it's Kelly Oubre's 3-point percentage. Every time I'm looking at the box scores,
on the 3-point line, that boy, he
should just be slashing.
Yeah, stay slashing and stay doing what he does.
He's 1 for 6 tonight.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if we're good at offensive rebounds, I'm not going to be too mad about it because, putbacks are fine. But 1 for 6 at 3, you're becoming a little bit of a liability if you keep chucking up shots.
Right.
Work inside, then work outside. And I love Oubre. I love his energy. I'm not an Oubre hater, but I need to see that get better if I'm going to truly buy in and get overly hyped and crazy fanatic like.
Well, you still got a full season to work all those kinks out, but at least the main component is compete. It's there.
Yep.
It's there. It's not. And as a matter of fact, I'm just with 3 games. I'm starting to be confident of saying we should not get blown out in no 30 and 40-point game like we did last year.
Right.
I think if we lose, it's going to be within the 10-point range, somewhere around there. And if we have a bad game, you lose by 20. Okay, that's going to happen every season. Every team goes through that. But 40 and 50-point losses, I think we're past that. I really do. I think we're past that. So we'll see how that ends up. But
#RisePHX, man. Let's go.
Exactly, man. And let's get this thing into a playoff run, man. That'd be awesome to get this thing on fan base back up and get this city back on the basketball trail, man, as far as having something to be excited about. But this has been another lovely show. Bird Gang, Suns Nation, Casual Sports Show, KAZUAL with a Z at the end of the word sports on all social media outlets, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Go ahead and go there and put us some comments up. Sean gets a lot of polls he puts up on there on the website as well, www.ksrnaz.com. Interact with the show, Bird Gang, Suns Nation. That's what keeps it going. And you guys have been doing that, and that's why we're here. So we appreciate you out there. And until next time, we'll see you next week.
Be gone.
Oh.